Ka lang magtrabaho, di ba? Build something. Or kung magtrabaho ka man, be the fastest to grow in your job. Learn the best things in life, right? And kung gusto mo mag-freelance, diretso ka na, di ba? Maximize your income. So yun yung mga message na gusto namin i-share sa DEVCON Pro, right? And to make sure our Filipino developers feel na kaya nila, we have the best in the world come to the Philippines to share their experience globally. Diba? And hindi lang naman kailangan na ngayon na umalis ka sa bansa para magkaroon ka ng trabaho sa ibang bansa. Right? COVID, work from home, remote work has taught us na wherever you are, for as long as you have the talent, and you have the passion, and you have the energy, and you have the confidence, you can work everywhere with global opportunities. So that's one thing we want to bring also to the Filipino developers, is confidence. I built so many companies with Filipino engineers. And I've beaten so many other startups in Silicon Valley with Filipino engineers. Right? And they don't all have to leave the country. And so that's our goal. The DEVCON Pro Summit is to really further open the eyes of the geeks na kaya natin to. Magaling tayo compared sa mundo. And madi-deliver natin yan. The pandemic showcased na hindi lang tayo may galing, meron tayong puso. Like we have the propensity to help. And that's what's making Filipino unique. Yung ibang magaling may ibang mas magaling mag-code sa atin, pero mas robot na natin. Tayo, Filipino, you have both yung utak at yung puso. So that's something that we're super proud about. And hindi tayo titigil doon, right? In addition to Campus and Pro, we've also started kids. In fact, mas cool pa yung mga project ng kids kasi bata pa sila eh. So they have to learn the technology that they need when they're in college and grad school. So yung kids, the DEVCON Kids program actually is bringing together robotics, machine learning, AI, ganun ka-aga, di ba? So you'll see more and more of that in DEVCON. So kami naman, in the DEVCON team, at saka yung mga DEVCON volunteers, if you know the DEVCON volunteers, about 95% of DEVCON is volunteerism. We are so grateful that the press, you're paying attention to us. Salamat sa pagpunta. And you guys, yung mga kausap ko ngayon, mas ano na eh. Press nga kayo, tekinig kayo at the same time. It's kind of cool, diba? So we want to welcome you to our community. We're inviting you to DEVCON Summit, Pro Summit. And let's work on this together. And with that, I just want to say, maraming salamat ulit. We've come a very long way at DEVCON. We're not even quite close to where we should be. There's 1 million analytics job, there's 1 million AI job, there's over 2 million development jobs that's needed just in the United States that we can fill, right? And we don't have to leave here to go there to deliver on that. So this is the potential for the Filipinos in our DEVCON, and so I'm really happy and excited about the Pro Summit. It's the first time we're doing it, and hopefully we get your support. So maraming salamat sa inyo.
Pro Summit 2023, all the links, photos are also available on the media kit, and the QR code in your media kit. And this is available until September 25, so make sure to secure your tickets early because we're making the summit actually a very intimate and delightful experience for everyone. So we've designed it to be very small as well in terms of the experience, so that there's more time for networking and to connect. So again, that is the DEVCON Pro Summit 2023.
Regarding the DEVCON Pro Summit, we will be more than happy to answer your questions.
Business, and I find the best talent in DEVCON Summit events, right? And so I highly encourage that. Alam mo, they will save money because they don't have to hire recruiters, and they will gain a lot of goodwill by supporting DEVCON events. Because alam mo, geeks want to work for companies that care about them, diba? And if you show that you're caring about the community in general, I would want to work for you. So we're encouraging all our businesses to support DEVCON, right? This is the best way for you to get very, very scarce, very hard to find talent. 300 is the goal, right, for this event. Because we wanted it, if you look at the speakers, so if you think about an event, you think about the speaker quality to attendee ratio, right? So by limiting it to 200 to 300 events, I think it gives us an opportunity na they get the best out of it. So because it's our first time, we want to make sure yung, diba, geeks first. We want to make sure the geeks get the most amount of exposure to the speakers.
Yeah, question. You mentioned nga ang daming mga speakers. So will there be a breakout sessions or?
Yeah, so there's a lot of breakout sessions, I think, and it's a lot of topics. And there's a lot of topics around things that are really important, like analytics, like AI, and not only what it is, but how you can use it, how you can use it to advance your career. So it's going to be really, really fascinating. And just look at the experience of the people that's here. No? Kagaya ng first founder of eBay that became the CIO of Oracle, that became the CIO of SAP. These are people that have walked the path already of becoming a successful geeks. Our participants get an opportunity to engage them much more intimately than we used to do at Oracle. Kaya pinaghati-hati namin yung events so that the pros will have a unique opportunity to work with their idols, their role models a little bit more intimately, and the venue facilitates that way.
Arlo from the Manila Times. You showed only the 1,000 discount, but how much?
It's 50% off.
The price is $2,999. So the discount is valid for 2 weeks, so that's 1,000. So that's $199 after the discount. To add as well, so we're building multiple sub-brand experience for DEVCON. We are building the Campus DEVCON. We built the Campus DEVCON Summit last Friday. That's piloting in NCR, but we're bringing it nationwide. So for the Pro Summit, the intent is to also bring it to other municipalities that are present in Iligan, in Davao, and the Oro. The breakout actually, we designed it to be more of a networking sessions. So for breakout, we made it entirely for the Campus DEVCON Summit. But this one, we're intentionally making it heavy networking sessions.
Theoretically, mag-isa lang yung summit, diba? But we're actually going to have many summits now. So we just did the Campus DEVCON. We're going to do the Pro. You can expect we'll do something with kids coming up, no? To improve the supply, the funnel. And then we regionalize. Because, you know, it's not a Manila thing, right? So I think next year early, you're going to see us go to Davao. And then we're visiting more places in Visayas, in Iloilo. Kasi we also want to make sure na while we're all Filipino, iba-iba yung experience natin, diba? Iba-iba yung style. And then we want the world to kind of see the experience of ano ba yung mga Mindanao developers versus the Visayas developers versus the Luzon developers. So expect DEVCON summits to be all around every year phenomenon.
I have questions about private trade stereotyping. Are you focusing on the government side or the private sector to be part of this and encouraging me to be part of this summit?
Well, we want government to come. Yusek Almirol, who's the biggest champion of digitizing the government, is going to be joining us. So that's really good and important for us. But we want to balance it with the private sector. And remember, the main audience and the main drivers of DEVCON are the geeks themselves. So maraming mga geeks na nasa government, maraming mga geeks na nasa private sector, and to the extent na they want to attend, they also bring their affiliations to it. From our perspective, we have been a really good partner with government in times of pandemic, even before that, in times of proactive activities like hackathons for BIR, or even after the pandemic, the mga pandemic technologies that we built, we donated, as an example, to help with our ports, piers and all that stuff. So we will always be in around government because we want to help the country. What we're trying not to become is be a part of government in that standpoint. Pero we've been great partners for them. What we really want to encourage are the industries. Sadly, there's still Filipino industries that prefer to hire abroad or prefer to hire expats. And my point is, being somebody in Silicon Valley, I have built companies that beat Silicon Valley companies with Filipino engineers. So, bakit pa, diba? I think that's one of the areas that we want to showcase in DEVCON Pro, that Filipino talent is not just great in the Philippines, but it's great worldwide.
Finally, for your exponential marketing, do you encourage senior high school or college students to participate? Why or why not?
We do encourage some students already to join. We've seen actually promising young high school grads na ready na to be employed. And that's okay, right? Everywhere around the world, some kids just get high school education, self-teach themselves, and become productive. So there are a few people like that at DEVCON Summit. What we wanted to make sure on the event is the quality, one-on-one quality, and the intimate setting of the pros to work with other pros. And that's hard to do because when you're already working, you have very little opportunity to learn. And when you're already working, you're uncomfortable to start thinking about plan B or plan C. So we want to create an environment that's comfortable, right? And that's why we want to focus on the pro. At this point, not that we don't care about college students, we want to optimize the experience. So your campus DEVCON will happen last week, and then this week naman is dedicated for the pros, for this next event.
Thank you.
Software developers to country developers, that's what we want to start in DEVCON. Our vision is a digitally transformed Philippines for all. And when we get invited in Liga, our team, Robert Rich goes to Liga in Mindanao, we get invited in DEVCON, it's always bringing the global perspective to the countryside. When we visited in the ICT councils in DEVCON 2 weeks ago, their mantra is magic, making academe, government, and industry collaborate. To us, we add one more. We add making academe, government, industry, and communities collaborate. DEVCON is uniquely open, meaning hindi kami tied up to just Microsoft, Alibaba, AWS. We can invite and bring platforms and partners depending on what's relevant to your community. So that's what makes DEVCON. We're also a registered organization. So when governments invite us, we can create memorandum of understanding with them, which I think is very unique. With DEVCON, so we're global, we are open, and we are a collaborative enabler for digital transformation in countryside. So it's what makes DEVCON.
Okay, last two questions from our
standpoint. We created a facilitation for other nonprofits, even if they're informal nonprofits, to work with either government or ING or international non-governmental organizations. So in a lot of cases, that we facilitate other efforts in partnership with other institutions. Like for instance, we work with ADB, we work with USAID, we work with, in fact, one of the really important projects of USAID called SPEED, which is to help the small businesses in the country. DEVCON actually is legally their partner for technology here in the Philippines, and we developed a solution for them. So I think that's also important. The more deeper work you do, the more you need to institutionalize what you do. So we have kind of a legal framework for that. And then on other things like input for data privacy laws, input for startup laws, all of that, we always get asked because we represent the biggest body of developers in the country. So we're happy to fill that role. It's medyo controversial, but it's fine. Thank you.